This episode of Another Great Day is brought to you by Eclipses. Darker, darker, yet darker. Is this a MIDI version of Total Eclipse of the Heart?
Wait, it gets so good. Wait.
It's Monday, April the 8th, 2024. And
Sorry.
Windows 95 is bringing you the MIDI version.
I really love that terrible saxophone.
Play it again. Play it again, please. Close your eyes.
Sorry.
That's amazing.
We don't have rights to the real song.
Oh, that is excellent. So for those of you who did not grow up in the mid-90s, that's how songs would sound when you put them on a computer. And it was kind of epic, wasn't it?
It's true.
It was pretty fun seeing what the MIDI player could do. Well, it's Monday, April 8, 2024. Let's get back in gear here. I'm Aaron, and this is my wonderful MIDI-tacular co-host, Chris.
That's right. It's a special song for this random day for much of the United States. Eclipse Day.
Yeah, happy Eclipse Day to you, my good sir. Have you ever seen an eclipse before?
I've only seen the partial ones that make the shadows look like moons on the ground.
Oh, man, there's one I felt like there was one just a few months ago.
There was one, I think in the fall or in the middle of winter.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
There was one 4 or 5 years ago.
Everything looked weird. It was awesome, actually.
It looked very weird.
Well, I
and
found
it'll
some
be even weirder today, today when it happens.
Well, Chris and I were actually hanging out this weekend. Yes, we do hang out outside of this podcast, and I found a pair of Eclipse glasses on the ground.
Oh, that's true.
So
hopefully they're safe.
I'm ready now. Hopefully they're not just 3D glasses.
I've been told there are some that are not safe or something. I don't know.
Well, you'll know when you go blind. All right. Well, welcome back to another Great Day podcast, the podcast designed to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation. Well, Chris, you know what today is? It's Monday.
That's right.
Eclipse Day. And for today, we have a special segment called the same segment we do every Monday, Bad Movie Descriptions. That's right. In a world where two men have the courageous ability to describe a movie poorly and encourage you, the listener, to guess, we bring you Bad Movie Descriptions. Chris, I think you should go first today for Bad Movie Descriptions.
All right. You ready?
Yeah.
Here is a movie description.
Let's hear it.
In a world threatened by an unstoppable force from beyond the stars,
Oh, geez.
a group of, some of them very generic gentlemen, others quite extraordinary, with unique skills, some with making holes in the ground, unwavering determination.
Some miners and...
They face off against the looming threat, risking everything to protect the world they call home.
Oh.
As chaos erupts, the brave heroes stand united, ready to confront whatever challenges come their way. Will they emerge victorious and save the day? Or will darkness prevail?
Oh,
Join
wow.
the fight and witness the epic struggle of courage, unity, in the face of overwhelming odds.
That's quite a description, buddy.
I had an idea of multiple things, and I had ChatGPT help me meld it together.
Oh, my gosh. Well, thank you, ChatGPT and Chris.
It was a joint effort.
Well, I'm going to go with... I have two guesses. One I'm pretty sure is wrong, and one that I think is right.
Okay.
Independence Day was my first guess.
Oh.
It's not that, though, is it?
It's not that.
Okay, because that was a looming threat from beyond the stars.
Oh, that's true.
But as option number 2, I would say Armageddon?
I started with that premise, and then I decided that it would be a bad movie description of the Avengers movie.
What?
Because a big threat from the star comes down and they attack the city.
You're joking.
Yeah.
It's Avengers?
Yes.
Dagnabbit.
But I made it a very terrible description.
That was awful, but excellent at the same time. Well done.
And I kind of went loose on the mining in the ground. I said make a hole in the ground, which I imagined Thor could do that with his hammer.
Well, and the big worm guys could go through the ground.
That's true.
The bad guys. Okay, good job, Chris. That was definitely a bad movie description. All right. Well, I've got one for you here.
I'm all ears.
A threat from beyond the stars is headed towards Earth.
Wait a second.
There is potential devastation on the horizon. Man must outthink nature in order to save the world. Do you know what movie I'm talking about?
Is it Armageddon?
No.
Oh!
Would you like to guess again?
I think I have a clue.
What is it?
It's the identical movie released at the same time called Deep Impact.
Yes, you nailed it. Well done. And if you guys guessed Armageddon or Deep Impact, we'll give you full credit because
That's
they're
right.
essentially the exact same movie.
You get
That's
three free AGD $bucks.
That's it. And if you guessed Volcano and Dante's Peak, also, you get credit for that
that's
disaster
pretty good
movie
too.
as well. All right. Well, that's it for bad movie descriptions. And that'll bring us to the next segment we lovingly call 1, 2, 3, This Day in History.
Sorry. I added a bunch of extra sounds today and I was looking through my soundboard.
It's great. It's great. Chris, you had something here
In fact,
This Day in History.
I need a new sound for this.
Well, while you're looking up that sound,
I've got it right here.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna turn my sound down.
Okay.
We're gonna have a gentle background noise
Ooh.
as we start this segment.
Okay, that's right. So you're setting the scene.
All right,
The year was 1876, Chris.
that's right, 1876,
It was a beautiful
April 8th.
day.
There is a song from an opera made. This is the premiere of an opera.
Ooh.
You know this tune not because it was played in Italian operas called La Gioconda,
Ah, yes.
a major success for Ponchielli, the author and the composer of this opera. Not because of that.
No.
Not because it was played at the French Grand Opera or these places in Europe 150 years ago. Not because of that, because Disney put it into the Fantasia movie and had hippos and alligators doing a ballet dance.
That's right. The hippos even had tutus on.
That's right.
That's awesome.
It was that song.
In fact, in the movie Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Eddie Valiant bumps into a hippo in Toontown wearing a tutu, and she says, "Oh, excuse me." And that's one of the Fantasia hippos.
So this is the song that you're hearing in the background. It's called the Dance of the Hours. It has I think 4 or something or 5 different parts to it. And it's like the morning hours, the lunch midday hours, the afternoon hours, the evening hours.
Just imagine. Hippos.
Isn't that so calming?
I'm about to take a nap. If you're driving, don't fall asleep.
All right, we're going to come back to that in a second because there's another song that was inspired by this that's
Okay.
way more ridiculous and for kids.
Okay, let's hear it.
Even more crazy.
This is probably more my style.
You ready?
Yeah.
This was inspired by the song, and you'll get the tune pretty quick.
Okay, ready.
You may have heard this song. It's from like the
Granada.
1950s.
Things are pleasant.
Yes! How do you know that?
I don't know. I don't know how I know it, but I feel like everybody knows that song.
Hello, mother. Hello, father. Here I am at
It was on a TV variety show.
camp is very entertaining.
But that is the tune
That is great.
from The Dance of the Hours
Oh, man.
from an
I
opera
love that.
called La Gioconda by Ponchielli.
That's awesome. Good job, everyone involved in the real thing and the parody.
There
That's
was
awesome.
Tons of extra stuff with that. Yep.
Awesome. Well, that'll dust the chandelier for today and move us on to the question of the day. Hit it, Fred. All right. Let me ask you a question, Chris. Fred, you're listening over there while you're on the piano. Nice white tux today, by the way. If you started a band and you were the lead singer and you had to choose one type of animal to be your backup bandmates. So, for example, you choose crows, and crows have to play keys and guitar and bass and drums, whatever. But you can only choose one species of animal to be your backing
Okay.
band.
All right.
What animal do you choose?
I like this. This is fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the animals in the ballet.
Very much so. That's what we call a tie-in.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, I've got something.
All right, hit me, Chris. Oh, also, sorry, guys.
good.
If you're new this week, hit the pause button, discuss this amongst yourselves, then come back for our answers.
So, I don't know if you remember the animated old school Jungle Book.
Yes.
There was two like British buzzards
Aye.
who would always say something like,
What do you want to do today?
yeah, what do you want to do today?
I don't know.
What do you want to do?
want to do?
Was there 3 of them?
There was
or
like
2 of
3
them?
or 4. It's like, don't start that again.
That is the backup group. And they're all like kind of
We're your
slouchy.
friends to the bitter end.
And I'm imagining they're kind of like grunge metal guys from the mid-90s who are kind of just like standing there all slumpy,
Yes.
wearing like plaid tied
like
around their waist.
shoegaze.
They're kind of like dun 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 dun.
Like early Weezer.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, that kind of stuff.
Great. Well, in the Jungle Book, there was like a girl buzzard. There was an old man buzzard.
Oh yeah, you're right.
And then
they
there
had
was a
pretty distinct
third
characters.
buzzard who had like Beatles mop top hair.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And he talked like this. What are you going to do about that?
I wonder if it was a beetle. It may have been.
100%. No, I don't think the actual voice actor was a
No,
Beatle.
they often did stuff.
Did they?
There's at least one of them who got into like animated things and
Huh.
did voices and things. Yeah.
Well, how about that? We should
Maybe
probably...
George Harrison. I don't know who it was.
I like that. For me, I'm gonna go with. Now you got me thinking about the Jungle Book. I thought you were gonna pick the monkeys because they were like King Louie was rocking it out
Oh,
with
yeah.
everybody.
I
He
mean,
had the
that
little,
makes sense.
The little
That's
one
an
that's
actual
like,
band.
So I'd have to go with monkeys. I think monkeys would be excellent when they weren't throwing their poo
Or bananas.
or bananas.
Or maybe the instruments. They keep them in their hands.
Hey, monkey, behave. Play the song or you're out. I'll hire Chris's band of buzzards.
What would your genre be with?
Ooh.
Would it be like 70s pop
Jazz.
alternative rock?
No, I want to play jazz
Oh,
with
okay.
some monkeys.
Like the band The Monkeys.
I
was
want to
imagining.
play like literal like Bill Evans classic piano jazz.
So you got like that
But
bass
with a
going,
band
dum,
of
dum,
monkeys.
dum, dum, dum,
Yes.
dum, dum, dum,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my band. And if you have a band of animals that you're playing with right now or have trained to play with, let us know in the question below.
If you send us your album,
Yeah, we'll listen to it and play it for you. We'll promote it here on Another Great Day.
if you have an animal band, please.
Meow, 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 meow. It's,
That Geneva has a classic. Geneva got a book of artwork
Uh-huh.
a couple of years ago. It's like a museum artwork, but it's called Look and Hear or something, maybe.
Interesting.
And every artwork had a companion song on a CD in the back of the book.
Oh, dear.
And one of them was like a portrait of some cats or something. I don't remember. But all I remember is hearing all of a sudden one day the CD player, and there's this opera where 2 legitimate opera singers sing the cat meowing song. And
Oh
all
my
they do is go,
gosh.
meow. Very seriously.
That's ridiculous.
Operatic professionals
Meowing.
meowing.
Good job, opera
Fantastic.
singers.
Yeah, they're not beneath it. They're here to have fun too.
Oh, ridiculousness abounds. Well, speaking of ridiculousness, it is now time for us to move on to the dad joke of the day. If your eyes have not rolled yet, prepare your heart. Here we go. Take it away, Wes.
Hey there, guys. Happy Monday. Hey, my boy asked me the other day, he said, Dad, what's an eclipse? I said, no, son. Have another great day.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh,
No, son.
I thought he was gonna say Datsun.
Oh,
That's an eclipse. No, it's a Datsun.
That's so good. All right.
Which is
Good job,
different,
Wes.
but
That was
that was
excellent
really
as
good.
always. That got both of us real good. I'm sore from a workout yesterday, so that's hurting me to laugh. Anyways, all right, let's move on to our newest segment we call The Story of the True Hero. As we follow Jesus Christ through the Gospel of Mark, we find ourselves today in the book of Mark, chapter 4, verses 26 through 34. If you've ever looked at a Bible, the chapter is the big, bold number. The verses are those little tiny numbers. Chris? Do you have thoughts on today's verse?
I do have some thoughts. I wrote them down further on in the script.
All right, cool. Well, let's hit it up. You want to just split this one in half?
Sure can. I'll read 26 through 29 there.
Perfect.
This is what God's kingdom is like, said Jesus. Once upon a time, a man sowed seed on the ground. Every night he went to bed, and every day he got up, and the seed sprouted and grew without him knowing how it did it. The ground produced crops by itself. First the stalk, then the ear, then the complete corn in the ear. But when the crop is ready, in goes the sickle at once because harvest has arrived.
What shall we say God's kingdom is like? He said. What picture shall we give of it? It's like a grain of mustard seed. When it's sown on the ground, it's the smallest of all the seeds on the earth. But when it's sown, it springs up and becomes the biggest of all shrubs. It grows large branches so that the birds of the air make their nests within its shade. He used to tell them a lot of parables like this, speaking the word as much as they were able to hear. He never spoke except in parables, but he explained everything to his own disciples in private.
So Jesus was not trying to be difficult here just to be difficult for the sake of it. He was explaining it sometimes.
Nice.
And his message, this is kind of the take I've been getting from this commentary. His message was so explosive, this is the only way he could say it.
Wow. He had to almost like hide it in stories?
Kind of, yeah, like ease it in so it'd be understandable that the kingdom is different and coming. It was so different than they thought. And this is part of the beginning section where it says the seeds are in the ground, it grew on its own, and the sickle comes in. It's kind of the kingdom growing and going. God's doing that. And the sickle could possibly be, the conjecture is that that's kind of the time is now. We're harvesting.
Right.
Kingdom is coming in now.
I love
and then the second part of it, let's see here. The seed laid in the earth arises. Oh, another part, yeah. The word for the arises and that the guy gets up, the farmer gets up, is the same word they use for resurrection.
Ooh.
Now, at this stage in the Jewish history and life, their thinking was resurrection did not necessarily mean life after death, but how God would dramatically restore Israel. They were like, we want God to bring back Israel, like from the Babylonian days or from the other times.
From the
It would
King David
restore.
times, back when
They weren't thinking
great.
too much about resurrection. They were thinking about the resurrection of our kingdom.
Oh, wow.
That's what the thinking was at the time. And then this is where it gets all flipped on its head. That the kingdom comes like a mustard seed. The mustard is the smallest start. So people looking at this might have thought this mustard seed metaphor is like Jesus in Galilee. Nobody should look at this in Galilee, surrounded by a local crowd, and say, how can this possibly be the beginning of the kingdom? They would have thought, this can't be the beginning of it. It's just a guy. The mustard seed's the smallest. It's at the start, but then it grows to a huge tree or shrub. And the picture Jesus is making here is that God's way of working and God's way of growing the kingdom is like this. Remember who your God is and what he has promised, and realize that this, from the small beginning, from this little start of God's kingdom, that the kingdom will eventually offer shade to the whole world.
Whoa, nice.
That's the kind of
I like that.
From this mustard seed of Jesus proclaiming and doing and being here in the outskirts of Galilee, unknown at the beginning is unknown, and now he's going to grow up and be the biggest.
Wow.
Tree
That's
covering there.
fantastic. Like a nice vine. It just keeps growing and growing and growing.
Another
Or a
metaphor
tree.
for Jesus.
Yep. That's awesome. Well, right? The vine and the branches. I think I read that somewhere.
Yes. There we are.
Awesome. Good job, Chris. All right, well, that'll do it for today. Let's hit the music and call it a day. Our mission here on Another Great Day podcast is to encourage interaction, creativity, and conversation.
And if you like it with the button, like it.
Hit the like it button.
Like it.
I like
It's
it.
usually a thumbs up or a heart. Do that and share it.
I love it. Hit the square with the arrow. That means share.
That's the share button.
Share it and like it. And help us beat the internet.
And most importantly,
there it is.
all right.
I was waiting for it. We hope you make it another
great
day. We'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy your eclipse.
Mitsubishi.